Salut à tous, c'est RedKov, on est là pour la Réaction du programme spécial de la 5.2 de Genshin, ouais, 5.2, qui dure une trentaine de minutes, et ça a l'air d'être court, hein. Avec Chaska, c'est un petit peu le son. Avec, j'imagine, son village. Avec Ororon. Oh. Capitano. Nouveau boss. Autour du cheval cerf de Elden Ring. Oh, Citlali. On a le premier code. Juste là, donc 6 AL MWAVK LK35. On va passer la petite partie. Hop. Ah, le retour de l'équipe de Genshin. Donc, toujours pas de doubleur hein, depuis la polémique qu'il y a eu avec on va dire, les doubleurs qui boycottent les œuvres d'Oyoverse à cause à cause du fait que le personnage n'était pas assez racisé.
Whoa, are all Cucusaurs as
on voit que Oyoverse, comme c'est chinois, ils ont fait ah ouais, vous voulez jouer à ça? Allez hop, ça.
Well, since our Cucusaur friend kicked things off for us, I know just the place to start.
Mais après bon, je préfère quand même eux parce que eux, ils présentent vite, ils blaguent un peu, mais ils présentent très vite en fait.
This is a tribe of warriors, and most of their people can command the power of the skies. It was the Flower Feather clan's ancient duty to patrol and safeguard the entire region of Natlan. As elite special forces, their job was to detect threats, disseminate intel, and quickly neutralize any dangers to the nation. Though the circumstances are different now, the tribe never forgot its origins. They still hold trials to assemble the fastest teams in the tribe. The trials test a pilot's skill and teamwork with the Cucusaurs.
Oh, I'm so pumped about these Cucusaurs.
Yeah, Cucusaurs are the proudest out of all the Saurians.
De Natlan.
They know that they're the kings of the sky. Cucusaurs can consume phlogiston to climb higher or perform a horizontal roll in midair. Holding the sprint button allows them to enter an accelerated glide state after a horizontal roll. In addition, they can even use wind tunnels to quickly cover great distances.
Okay, so I'm assuming that Cucusaurs are really hard to tame.
Yeah, that's true. You need to prove yourself in some worthwhile feat, like demonstrating exceptional archery skill during flight. That's the only way to become a true Cucusaur rider.
Wow, that's so strict.
Ça peut être vraiment ils axent fortement l'exploration dans Natlan, genre en mode du fait de pouvoir se balader vite.
Every tribe in Natlan has a unique way of communicating to summon their
ça c'est les questions, on s'en fout un peu.
Then Chaska, the Flower Feather clan's
method of
maker, can help mediate the conflict.
Knitch mentioned that her method
donc elle est de type animaux.
Silencing both parties. Is that true?
Well, that's only in special cases. Most of the time, Chaska barely needs to intervene. Everyone knows what she's capable of, so people usually find a way to set aside their differences when she shows up.
Oh, so she doesn't just handle conflicts between humans and Saurians. She keeps the peace between people, too.
Exactly. Chaska was corrupted by abyssal power as a child,
Ouais, ça je le
so
sais.
she has a strong compulsion to fight, but she knows how to rein it in.
Right. I heard that she was abandoned as a baby. It seems like she's been through a lot.
Yeah, but luckily for her, the Cuckoosaurs took her in and raised her as one of their own. In addition to hunting and flying, Chaska gained a lot of unique combat experience from her Saurian childhood. When Chaska is in your party, defeating monsters will restore
Ok, de restaurer la
phlogiston to your
phlogistique en
party.
éliminant des
While
ennemis.
she's in the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska
Intervention,
can ride and
chevaucher et
control
contrôler
her
son arc
gun
comme un
like a
Cuckoo.
Cuckoosaur.
Ah ouais,
Souls
oh,
might be
ça a l'air
limited
l'exploration.
in speed and resistance to interruption. It also allows her to get a better
de vue
angle
sur
on
ses-
her enemies.
Wow, that mid-air
Elle est stylée de
perspective
fou,
is so cool. It seems so liberating.
Yeah, and Chaska's fierce when
Et
she's in
Synertia
the
aussi.
zone. In the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska's normal attacks deal animo damage to enemies in front of her. Unleashing a charged attack in this state will cause Chaska to enter a special aiming mode. This allows her to lock onto a set number of enemies within range and
De
fire
jusqu'à
up
6
to 6
cartouches, ok.
Shadow Hunt shells, which
Ok,
deal
ouais, elle les
animo
roule.
damage upon impact. In addition, for every Pyro, Hydro, Cryo,
Pyro,
or
Cryo, Electro
Electro
de votre
character in
équipe.
your party,
Ah,
one
ça
of
fait des
Chaska's
balles,
Shadow Hunt shells will undergo an elemental conversion to deal the
Ah
corresponding
oui, d'accord,
type
ok.
of
Ah ouais,
elemental
c'est
damage.
c'est
Whoa,
vénère.
no way. So Chaska can directly deal other types of elemental damage based on the
Donc tu
characters
prends
in
elle
your
avec,
party.
je
And
sais pas,
since
genre
she's an animal character, she can
t'affrontes
throw
un
them
ennemi
at the same
pyro, genre un
time.
boss
That's
pyro, bah tu
awesome.
prends que des
Yeah,
je veux
I know,
dire
right?
perso
Her elemental burst has a
cryo
similar function too.
ou hydro.
Chaska fires a
Hydro surtout.
gale-splitting Soul Seeker shell during her burst, which deals animo damage.
On
The
dirait qu'elle
attack
fait des
then
dégâts.
splits into 6
Dimension à
Soul
6
Seeker
cartouches.
shells, which continue to attack nearby enemies. These
Ah
shells
oui.
can also undergo elemental conversions.
Je suis dire des conversions
cool.
éventuelles.
No wonder she's
Elle
one
peut
of the
faire mal, en vrai.
strongest warriors in her tribe.
Speaking of her tribe, the warriors from the Flower Feather clan are formidable for sure, but we should also shed some light on those who aren't as skilled.
Oh, are you talking about the wingless? That's what the tribe calls people who fail the flight trials, right? They're the challengers who fail to earn the recognition of a Cuckoosaur.
Exactly. But the name doesn't indicate that those people are weak or deserve to be cast aside. The Flower Feather
Yes.
clan has its own definition of strength.
Des fleurs plus.
There's a tacit understanding that the wingless are supposed to be protected until they can fly by themselves. But that assumption is challenged in Tribal Chronicles
Ouais,
12.
encore
Someone will dare to ask,
une
what
quête
if you
tribale
didn't need a Cuckoosaur to fly? If
qui
you could
j'imagine
change
avec
the rules,
Chaska.
then maybe there wouldn't be any wingless to begin with. Now, whether that's the right path is for us to discover. Chaska will also be there to help us find the answer. So, be sure to check out Chaska's Tribal Chronicle if you're interested in what happens.
Is there anything else that you can tell us?
Remember how I mentioned that Chaska was raised by Cuckoosaurs?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Her Saurian mother will make an appearance in this quest. Even
Oh.
though she's joined human society, Chaska still goes to visit her Saurian mother on occasion, especially when she needs some help with a tough situation.
Oh, so Chaska still has the soft side, even though she's a fearsome warrior.
Definitely. The Flower Feather clan is also the setting for the Archon quest, Chapter
Ok,
5
donc
Interlude.
le chapitre 5 de
All
la quête
fires feel
Archons.
the flame. The tribe is facing a crisis, and they'll need the traveler's help to find a solution.
What kind
Après,
of
ça a l'air
crisis?
plus calme que
Well,
la
the Flower
5.1.
Feather
Au
clan
5.1, c'était la
suffered
guerre,
the
quoi.
worst of the abyssal contamination during the battle in version 5.1. It's not just the human body that can't withstand high concentrations of abyssal power. For most people, it also damages the mind. Many members of the Flower Feather clan are suffering from the mental repercussions of the abyss, and the tribe is in desperate
le
need of
mec.
aid.
Ça doit être le
Yansan
chef
will
de
be
la
there
tribu.
too. After rebuilding her own tribe, the Collective of Plenty, she's traveling around Natland to help those in need.
The people of Natland really value unity, don't they? No one fights alone.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things about Natland. Oh, wait. It looks like the captain will also be there.
Yes, the captain will also offer help to the tribe. You may pick up on some interesting information if you pay close attention to what he has to say.
Ah bah c'est
The
sûr.
captain rarely gives away too much information in his regular
Le nombre de
interactions,
trucs qu'on a appris
but
sur Capitano.
secrecy here seems a little peculiar. So keep an eye out, but of course, restoring Natland's fighting spirit remains the top priority. After all, the war isn't over yet. The abyssal
bah
contamination
oui,
is
hein.
still around, and we have a very important battle ahead. Natlan needs
Ouais,
mental
mais ça je pense que ça sera
fortitude
pour la
more than ever
5.3,
before.
The Flower
l'ultime
Feather
bataille.
clan is pretty close to the Masters of the Nightwind, where the Ictomosaurs live. That tribe could be another good place to recover from the battle.
Oh yeah, let's check it out.
If you head west from the Stadium of the Sacred Flame and go past the towering walls, you eventually arrive at the settlement of the mysterious Masters of the Nightwind.
Vivant
The tribal
nocturne, ouais.
settlement offers
C'est
a
stylé,
unique
hein.
glowing landscape
La
at
zone elle est
night.
stylée. Hein.
If you venture even further, then you might encounter the tribe's wild Ictomosaur elder or one of the many shamans who can communicate with spirits. I even heard that the witch doctors who live there can help cleanse your spirit. Plus, the graffiti art is really
C'est la
incredible.
tribu
In
d'Ororon,
fact,
je crois.
there's
si je dis
something
pas de
special
bêtises.
about this one. Can you figure it out, travelers? It's kind of tricky, right? Well, don't worry, the Ictomosaurs can help us out. Ictomosaurs are known for their wisdom. They can use their unique sight to detect things that can't be seen through normal
Oh,
means.
d'accord.
Whoa, okay.
Right. Ictomosaurs are especially skilled at detecting ley lines and phlogiston. They can absorb power from phlogiston objects to enhance their abilities. Doing so allows them to jump higher, move faster, or even obtain surprising rewards. Ictomosaurs can also extract information from graffiti art
Oh, les
to
jumps et
create
tout,
special objects.
Oh, I bet that'll come in handy for solving puzzles.
Definitely, especially in Tribal Chronicles Mictlan, which will become available in version 5.2. The first two acts feature a lot of intriguing puzzles.
Ok,
So
donc
be
des
sure
quêtes
to check
tribales
them
ici.
out, travelers. Some of them will require the help of an Ictomosaur, and others can be solved on your own.
I noticed that Ictomosaurs can perform fast-paced jumps when they have enough phlogiston, and it looks like so much fun. Do we know anyone who can use
Après,
that
le seul
ability?
point
Besides the
négatif
new Saurian, I
de...
mean.
Yes, Ororon
des
can do
sauriens,
it
c'est
too.
qu'ils sont ils se
Like
déplacent
the
très lentement.
Ictomosaurs,
C'est le seul.
Ororon has the ability to rise into the air. He
Ok,
also has
Ororon
a
peut
keen
décoller dans les
sense of
airs.
perception. While charging an aimed shot, Ororon will enter the spirit speaker state, allowing him to extract power from Natlan's graffiti and runes.
Speaking
D'accord.
of Ororon, I was honestly super surprised by his personality. Before the 5.1 Archon quest,
Il
I
est
thought
électro.
that he looked like a stern, stoic, and harsh type of character. But as it turns out, he's just a sweet kid.
Yeah.
Par contre, on sait même
It's
pas
kind
s'il
of
est 5
unexpected,
étoiles, 4
right?
étoiles.
Is he really that sweet, though? Just to think about all the sneaking around behind his granny's back.
Ah, true.
Ah oui, avec
The
Citlali.
tribespeople of the Masters of the Nightwind are known for being eccentric. But Ororon really takes it to the next level.
Yeah, it sounds like he does things his own way. I wonder if that extends to his combat abilities.
It does. Ororon is a bit different from the Natlan characters we've met so far. He doesn't need to depend on the Night Soul's Blessing state to gain Night Soul points, and he can maintain the Night Soul's Blessing state even while he's off-field.
Ah,
D'accord.
that does sound different from the other Natlan characters. So how do his abilities work?
Let me start by explaining how Ororon gains Night Soul points. This can happen in multiple ways. For example, Ororon can gain Night Soul points when one of his
Point
party members
nocturne,
triggers a
déclenche une
Night Soul
option nocturne.
burst. He can also gain them when other party members deal
Ouais,
hydro
ministre des
or
attaques
electro
hydro
attacks
électro
to
après-
enemies
après
after
qu'Ororon
Ororon
attaqué sa
unleashes his
compétence,
elemental
d'accord.
skill.
Oh, then it sounds like he works well with Hydro and Electro characters.
Personnage hydro et
Yep.
électro. Oh,
And
nice.
in combat, when enemies take damage from electro-charged reactions, or
Très
other
bien.
party members deal Night Soul aligned damage, Ororon can consume Night Soul points to enter the
Peut
Night
noter
Soul's
pour toi
Blessing
en
state
bénédiction.
and trigger the Hypersense effect, dealing
Ok.
electro damage.
Fait des dégâts
Oh, I
électro.
see. So you need to pair him with the right characters if you want him to gain Night Soul points, enter the Night
Ok,
Soul's Blessing
comment elle
state,
s'appelle
and trigger the effect.
Moulani, je crois, un truc comme
Exactly.
ça. Ça
So
peut
I
être une
should
bonne
mention
team. Hein.
that Ororon doesn't need to be on the field. to
Après, j'ai
trigger
aussi,
the Hypersense
Furina.
effect.
Wait, he can trigger even while he's off field? That sounds really useful.
J'imagine bien que Fiona et
His
Shogun
elemental
Raiden,
burst
ça peut être assez
provides a
vénère.
convenient way to deal damage and support your
Ouais, c'est un
party.
4 étoiles, il a pas
Ororon
d'animation
performs
d'ulti.
an ancient ritual with his burst to
Ouais, qui fait une
summon
zone et ils prennent des
supersonic
gaz sur les
oculus,
rayons.
which taunts nearby enemies to draw them in. Once they're up close, the Oculus releases a sound wave to deal damage.
That should be great for crowd control.
Yes, with Ororon in your party, dealing with large groups of enemies should be a lot easier.
Ah
And
oui.
speaking of making things easier, Ororon can also improve the exploration experience by boosting the gliding speed of your characters.
Tête de planage. Ah
Awesome.
oui.
Ororon really cherishes his
Ça vaut le
friends.
coup, hein.
With a little teamwork on his side, I'm sure victory will always be within reach.
Cool. So we introduced two of the upcoming regions in this update, the Flowerfeather Clan and the Masters of the Nightwind. But
Ouais, donc
there's
les deux
more.
nouvelles zones.
Version 5.2 actually introduces another new region.
Une
It's
nouvelle
called
région.
Ochkanatlan.
Oh, I think we caught a glimpse of this ancient city when we were looking at the Flower Feather clan. It's really
oui.
beautiful from far away, but those
Ah oui.
places are kind of ominous.
Non, en vrai, c'est
It
stylé
looks
de fou. hein.
completely abandoned. Is it dangerous?
Yes. This is a restricted area in that land due to its severe abyssal contamination, and it seems uninhabited.
Après, c'est très linéaire,
Over the
donc
years, many
j'apprécie.
adventurers have come here in search of treasure or to slay
Le
the dragon.
dragon.
Unfortunately, none of them have ever returned. The Flowerfeather clan often sends riders to patrol the area and to prevent people from getting too close.
Wait, did you say slay the dragon?
Yeah, I know we introduced some adorable saurians earlier, but this creature is actually really terrifying.
Oh.
It occupies this ancient city and guards it fiercely. If it detects an intruder, then it will attack without hesitation.
Okay, that's pretty concerning.
It's easy to take human-saurian coexistence for granted these days, but it actually took generations of effort to reach this point. This relationship wasn't nearly so harmonious in the ancient past. Travelers will need to explore Ochkanatlan to uncover the reason behind this dragon's rampage.
Ok.
Of course,
Stylé.
travelers won't have to do this alone. Here, take a look.
Oh, what's that?
This is a very important companion who will help us explore Ochkanatlan.
Bah oui, toujours un
His
petit
name is
compagnon.
Kokowi. As for his
qui va venir
power,
nous aider.
well, why don't you take a guess?
Okay, is he our moral support? You know, maybe he could make a cute noise every now and then to cheer us up.
Hey, let's not put our Tapetlosaur friend out of a job. Little one works really hard.
Okay, then I've got nothing.
Remember how I mentioned that Ochkanatlan is heavily corroded by the abyss? Well, that's where Kokowi comes in. We can use his power
Ah,
to
ok,
clear
j'ai
abyssal
peur. Je me dis
contamination.
qu'il fasse pas un truc
Follow
où
the
il
direction
faut pas
indicated by
subir
his
trop de
light to
contamination.
collect secret source scraps and enhance his power. Once Kokoweek has enough power, you can take him to track down the evil dragon.
What a useful
Ah oui,
little
carrément.
guy.
I know, right? Now, travelers can explore Ochkanatlan with two companions, Kokoweek and Little One. In fact, I've heard there's even a special token around here that can enable Little One to traverse a volcano. A new adventure with Little One awaits in version 5.2.
D'accord.
This update will bring us one step
c'est une autre
closer
grosse
to
quête.
uncovering the mysteries of Little One's past. Familiar
petit gaillard.
Saurian companions can also help us explore Ochkanatlan. For example, with the help of a Kaholasaur, we can evade source mechanism attacks. With the help of an Ikitomisaur, we can solve certain puzzles. With the help of a Kukusaur, we might even
ok,
be
c'est
able
ce
to
qu'on a vu,
chase
en
down
fait.
the evil dragon. But we'll leave the rest for
Pour ça,
you to
il se
discover,
valide, j'étais en
travelers.
mode, what the
Wait,
fuck.
are those some kind of lava fish? Does this mean we can fish in that land?
Yes, but I've got some friendly advice, travelers. You should be very careful while exploring Ochkanatlan. Some of the abyssal
oui.
monsters here can distort their
De
appearance
boss.
to mimic powerful enemies. High-level monsters such as the tenebrous Papilla can mimic even stronger enemies.
Huh? It looks like these monsters take the form of plants outside of combat.
Yep, that's true. The Abyss has corroded Natlan's ley lines, allowing these
Ah ouais.
monsters to read the memories inside of them and mimic creatures from Tevat.
How do we defeat them?
Oh ouais, non,
Travelers
quelle
will
horreur.
need to use elemental attacks
Oh
to
l'horreur.
break the enemy's
Vas-y,
protective
les-
void wards. Doing so
Ah oui, on voit la
allows them
barre
to
qui
take
grandit.
damage and causes them to enter a brief state of confusion. Night Soul aligned elemental attacks are especially effective against these wards.
Wow, the Abyss has gotten so advanced.
Ténébreuse
It's scary
papillon.
to think about how much harder these fights will get if these abyssal monsters continue to evolve.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a lot of information to take in at once. But before we take our first break, we still have a couple of short announcements. Really short, I promise. First up, limited time exploration rewards will be available in version 5.2. Just like in version 5.1, travelers can earn up to 400 extra Primo Gems, and the rewards will be available all the way through version 5.3. It's now time to introduce the event wishes. In the first half of version 5.2, travelers can look forward to event wishes from Chaska
Donc
and
Chaska et l'Iné, d'accord, avec Ororon. Par contre, attendez, j'ai un truc, j'ai pas compris. Je veux pas eu 400 primogèmes. Attends. Et les rewards seront disponibles jusqu'à la version 5.3. Les expansions illimitées seront disponibles dans la version 5.2. Ok. La deuxième moitié, c'est Zhongli et 9 Villettes. Oh! Pour du Villette, ça peut être stylé, mais... Avec des nouvelles armes.
Alright, it's time for our first break. Once we come back, we'll dive right into the event portion.
Ok, donc le deuxième code, 7TLM XSD 243JR. Et le petit truc qui va aller jusqu'au bout et après c'est stoppé. Ouais.
In the version 5.2 event, Ikitomi Spirit Seeking Scrolls, travelers will team up with Citlali and Ororon to get to the bottom of a mysterious accident that occurred within their tribe.
Travelers will need to complete combat challenges.
Des défis de combat en espérant qu'ils sont simples parce qu'ils n'arrêtent pas de les rendre de plus en plus durs.
And gather lost spirits scattered throughout the region. Travelers will only be able to uncover the truth if they collect all the clues. But don't worry, there are also various rewards to earn along the way, including primo jams.
Ooh, I really like the vibe of this event. It looks like Citlali is performing some kind of ritual. It's also mysterious.
When a situation gets tough, it's Granny to the rescue.
Definitely.
Ouais, donc 3
Citlali
events.
and Ororon have some really fun dialogue in this event.
I'm always grabbing the popcorn whenever these two interact. They're practically a two-person show. And speaking of fun, let's get into the event gameplay. First up is the Search for Lost Spirits minigame. Travelers will have to work together to herd the scattered roaming spirits into specific zones to earn points. Pay attention to the conditions on the field if you want a higher score. For example, travelers can jump on stone slabs that appear on the field. These slabs will break open.
En espérant que c'est un jeu coop et pas individuellement et par la team, donc ça va. Mais bon, j'imagine qu'il y aura des trucs à gagner si on fait avec la team, quoi. Je veux dire, si on récupère des
Evil Banisher, travelers will need to select the right teams to complete the objectives. Completing all of the objectives will award you the Banishing Aura, which allows you to deal AoE damage by spraying paint at enemies.
That paint really matches the Masters of the Night Wind's aesthetic. It's super cool.
Yeah, and so does the Spirit Loom in restoring
et l'autre, ok, l'autre c'est de faire un truc comme ça. Oh, c'est stylé, ça va être stylé.
Travelers will need to piece these
ça me rappelle l'époque de Call of, genre des Black Ops avec les emblèmes.
Oh, there's something else that we should mention. Travelers can obtain a new 4-star sword by completing this event. The design definitely fits the Masters of the Nightwind. It looks like some kind of ceremonial artifact.
I totally agree. Oh, and this event will allow travelers to learn more about Natlan's secrets.
Sur les secrets
For
Natlan,
example,
ok.
this quest will reveal new clues about a mysterious
La
and
Mare
legendary
Jivari.
place, the Mare Jivari.
Wow, we've been hearing about this place since Mondstadt. It'll be nice to get
J'avais
some new
complètement
information.
oublié. Ok,
On a
ça peut être
related note,
intéressant.
the Adventurers Guild has prepared a new
Nouvelle
trial
épreuve
for
de la
its
guilde des
members.
aventuriers avec
Active
Cotoli.
adventurers have been invited to take on the challenge, including the Traveler. Travelers will need to complete various challenges with designated characters and fully leverage their skills to earn rewards. I know you're up to the challenge, Travelers. Good luck.
In Mondstadt-related news, the Knights of Favonius are conducting a war game to improve security tactics in the region. And who better to test these tactics than the Honorary Knight? Be sure to pay close attention to the game, since the format has changed this time. Travelers will need to select combat units and stratagems to deploy against the opposing formation. Once the lineup is set, the monsters will fight automatically. Available combat units and stratagems are completely random. You know, just to build some unpredictability into the wargame. The chances of encountering elite combat units increases as the wargame progresses. Even more elite monsters will be available for travelers to use.
Pokémon, quoi,
it's a volatile environment, so do your best to win as many rounds as possible, earn wargame medals, and collect the rewards.
Alright, let's keep the excitement rolling in this next event. We actually have a demo, so please take a look.
Oh, looks like they're selecting tactics. Double damage? That sounds powerful. Whoa, it's automated. Cool. The elemental reaction effects are completely different.
The perk cards have been added for nearly every elemental reaction. Choose cards that align with your strategies to trigger powerful elemental reactions. The effects will change depending on how you play. In addition, the overall gameplay is very laid back. Characters will automatically duel each other, and skill animations are now shorter in length.
Wow, it's like we got a whole new Genius Invocation TCG after coming back from Natland. Talk about whiplash.
That's right. Even if you've never played Genius
TCG, hein, qui veulent toujours pas abandonner. Ils sont à fond dessus. Hein. Ils pourraient largement améliorer certains trucs de combat, voire peut-être retravailler certains PNJ, genre on va dire visuels, etc. Non, les mecs qui font TCG, TCG, TCG.
In Claw Convoy, travelers will need to help Lamia track down some adopted animals. Travelers will be able to see the animal's point of view by using a special tool. Once you've managed to deduce their location, you'll be able to track them down. Once the animals are safe and sound, travelers will receive a gift from the mysterious figure who adopted them. I feel like Ororon would really shine in this event. He's definitely an animal lover.
Quelle statue de Utao?
I'm sure that he would jump at the chance to meet animals from other nations.
Yeah.
Finally, the ley line overflow event
le
will
reflux qui
keep
est
an eye out.
d'auto.
Next up is the change to the Imaginarium Theater. Previously, travelers would be returned to the theater lobby after completing a challenge and have to reopen the Fantasia Tome to continue. Travelers provided feedback that this setup interrupted their experience. So, this will no longer be the case in version 5.2. Now, after finishing a battle, all you need to do is click Next Act if you want to keep fighting.
Nice. Travelers can now enjoy the thrill
Ah
of
bah
combat
ça aurait dû être ça
without any
depuis le début
interruptions.
même en fait.
And for all the generous travelers who like to configure supports for their friends, a supporting caster record has been added in the new update.
Ah
You
oui,
can
le
now
nouveau
check
truc
which friends have borrowed your supports by looking at the
support,
supporting cast screen.
Cool. It'll be nice to
le
know that our
support des
supports
amis,
are
ça va
helping
être cool.
people out.
Yup. Oh, and the party configuration mechanic has also been optimized. Besides the elemental filtering, the Imaginarium Theater will now feature recommended row icons, elemental statistics, and markers for the main types of enemies.
That is so helpful. I'll occasionally put together a random team if I've just started experimenting with some characters, but this information should make it a lot easier to form strategic teams.
These markers will display key information on how to counter enemies, but in a much more prominent position. Hopefully, this change will make it easier for travelers to form the best teams.
Yes. Now we can directly see which elements work best against specific enemies. That's definitely going to save some time.
For sure. And we can expect even more optimizations in the future as travelers continue to provide valuable feedback about their experiences. Okay, let's introduce the other system optimizations coming in version 5.2. You can now sort 5-star artifacts in your inventory based on when you obtained them, from the most recent to the oldest. Second, the animations for crafting materials, forging weapons, building furniture, and cooking dishes are now shorter in
Ils ont
length.
plus courte. Ah,
That's
let's
really
go.
nice. The dev team designed a lot of intricate animations for these features,
Ah ouais,
but
parce
it can
qu'avant,
feel a
t'attendais
bit
le truc là,
frustrating when you
c'est ça.
have to watch them over and over again.
There will also be several optimizations for the Serena Teapot. The seed dispensary can now hold more of
Cause
every type
davantage
of
de
seed.
types de chaque.
You'll be able to purchase wood at the Realm Depot in
Ah.
exchange for Realm currency. In
Merci.
addition, the cooldown for the boon of the Elder Tree will be reduced to 5 seconds.
De 5
This
secondes. Ah
way,
bah ça
it'll
aussi.
be easier for travelers to collect wood.
Awesome. I've been meaning to use some cool replicas in my Serena Teapot.
Ils ont vraiment bien
but I'm
amélioré ces
always
aspects-là
short
parce que
on
c'était
wood.
c'était
So
chiant.
this should be
Et d'ailleurs,
really
ce qui m'avait
helpful.
fait stopper
Nice.
tout ce qui
I'm
était
so
sanité
excited
et
for you.
tout.
Oh,
À part
and
juste
optimizations
récupérer
have
tout.
been made to artifact locking. The updated lock assistance interface will allow you to configure lock settings with a single click. Just hit Use Recommended Settings and you're set. The recommended set lock plans will even update automatically based on popular in-game configurations. Of course, if you have your own ideas in mind, then you can always disable the recommended plans to configure custom ones instead.
The update also allows you to batch lock
L'interface de votre
artifacts in your
interface parle.
inventory based on the recommended general lock plan and set lock plans.
D'accord.
This will
Donc ça
make
c'est
it
pour les
much
verrouiller.
faster to organize your inventory. In addition, A shortcut button that navigates to the lock assistance interface will be added to the artifact domain challenge screen and the artifact acquisition screen. This should make it easier for travelers to configure their locking rules whenever they want. A star feature will also be added next to the lock button on each artifact. Travelers can use this feature to mark their favorite artifacts and filter by stars to quickly track them down.
Finally, treasure compasses will now be able to locate even more treasure locations, including Sealies and time trial challenges.
C'est pas mal ça.
A quick swap feature will also be added for treasure compasses and Oculus resonance stones. Enabling this feature will allow travelers to more easily use these devices across regions. The feature will automatically switch to the compass or stone that corresponds to your location in the game.
Ok.
Be sure to check out
Beaucoup
future
d'optimisation
announcements for more
qui
details on
allège
version 5.2
franchement
optimizations.
qui allège bien
That was a lot of info.
sur
This
plusieurs
seems like a
aspects.
good time for our second break.
It's time for the third redemption code.
Oh, c'est la fin. Donc voilà, le dernier JS45 ETDJLKMD. Voilà. Et donc là c'est la fin, j'imagine.
On November 20th, travelers will be able to play
Ouais, sur
Genshin on
Xbox.
Xbox Series X
Et
and
puis, voilà,
S
le
consoles
planeur.
to receive the Wind
Mais
Glider Wings
c'est chiant
of
parce que,
Fate's course in
genre, en fait, connectez-vous à Genshin sur les consoles pour obtenir le planeur, mais vous pouvez le mettre que sur Xbox. Genre, moi par exemple, j'ai récupéré celui sur PlayStation quand au tout début Genshin était sorti, j'avais mis sur PlayStation aussi. Sur PlayStation, l'aile de PlayStation, vous ne pouvez que l'équiper que sur la PlayStation. Que sur Genshin sur PlayStation.
Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can play Genshin Impact via cloud gaming. They'll also find extra rewards in their in-game mailbox.
Awesome.
Après ça c'est bien à faire pour
That should be everything.
les
That
récompenses, genre
means that
peut-être des
we've reached
primos,
the
ce genre de
end
trucs.
of the special program. Is there?
Characters. Chaska holds very late.
Yeah, we area as well. And one thing I've always loved on different devices, depending on
Yeah.
and travelers.
Bye.
Ok, donc c'est terminé. Bon, c'était un petit patch, voilà, avec Chaska Ororon concernant un acte 5 qui va être léger, on va aider une tribu à se remettre. Et après, voilà, ça va être deux nouvelles tribus, une nouvelle zone, deux nouveaux boss. Non, c'est juste un nouveau boss, c'est juste qu'il prend plusieurs formes. Et un gros event de Citlali avec plein de petits events et c'est tout, c'est très petit, je pense que ça va être juste 5.2, on se pose et par contre 5.3 je pense qu'on aura Mavuka en 5 étoiles avec une nouvelle zone où on va là où l'Abysse s'est réfugié après la fin de la 5.1, on va dire de l'histoire principale de la 5.1. Donc voilà, donc après il sort quand? Donc j'imagine si c'est aujourd'hui on est quoi, peut-être c'est marqué putain, ça c'est chiant, il le marque jamais, c'est dingue comment il ne marque pas les heures de... Bon, si c'est fait ce vendredi ça sera je pense mercredi 20, ça devrait être mercredi 20 bon ils mettent pas, c'est vrai que c'est gavant genre. À chaque fois hein. À chaque fois, ils font le coup. Après, si je regarde vite fait... Ça, c'est les trucs. Ils le marquent pas, hein. C'est terrible. C'est terrible à quel point ils en ont rien... Ils font pas les choses à moitié. Voilà, oui, voilà. Sera disponible le 20 novembre. Donc c'est bien le mercredi 20 novembre, donc bien évidemment mercredi 20 novembre on ira faire Genshin. Donc voilà, en tout cas si la vidéo vous a plu, voilà, donc là c'était la réac. Donc si ça vous a plu, n'hésitez pas à lâcher un pouce bleu, à vous abonner pour soutenir la chaîne. Je remercie encore à tous ceux qui regardent les vidéos YouTube en ce moment, ça cartonne du tonnerre. Pas sur toutes les vidéos, mais sur une bonne partie des vidéos ça marche. Je sais que vous appréciez les reacts. Donc voilà, donc après pour la 5.2 on le fera en live sur ma chaîne Twitch qui sera dans la description. Et il y aura les drops à gagner, bien évidemment. J'espère aussi qu'ils mettront pour la 5.2 le truc événement de Twitch, genre en mode le partenariat Twitch, parce que la 5.1 ils l'ont pas mis. Alors, beaucoup ont spéculé sur le fait que, comme c'était l'anniversaire de Genshin, ils ont pas mis ça parce qu'il y a déjà pas mal de récompenses. Je sais pas trop. Donc j'espère qu'on l'aura, comme ça moi ça me permettra non seulement de gagner beaucoup de primo, surtout pour ça, mais voilà, en tout cas il y aura les drops et tout, ça c'est sûr. Donc merci encore à vous tous voilà, de donner de la force, ça fait super plaisir. Je vous souhaite à tous une bonne journée, une bonne soirée, et on se dit à la prochaine sur YouTube ou sur Twitch. Allez, sur ce, des bisous et merci.